Crockett, Travis and Dickinson, and the others who died in the Alamo. Held off an army for 13 days. What kind of men were they? Well, we know that they died and that they were heroes. But nobody wants to die, and nobody just decided to be a hero. It was forced on them because they were stuck with ideas like freedom and the rights of the individual, and hatred of dictators. Living free meant a lot more to them than cowering in security.
All over the world, the word Alamo itself has a great meaning. But we in San Antonio have not kept up with what really needs to be told. That's all we have to do. And we just have taken it for granted here all these years. And it's time to let everyone know what it really is all about. We have children and grandchildren that really don't know what happened right here under our thumb, so to speak. So this is more than what I would say is an urgent thing. This is an obligation that we have not met. That obligation is to that 200, almost 200 lives that gave their life knowing that they were giving their life and hoping that somebody's coming along behind them and to see that this freedom is going to last forever. People come to visit every year. I can't tell you how many people tell me, I'm so surprised there's nothing down there. I was so surprised. I really didn't even know I was at the Alamo. Well, that's shame on us. But what we're doing is leaving a legacy that you and I now have. We have that legacy that nobody else in the world has. There is not another Alamo. There will never be another Alamo. In the entire history of the world, there hasn't been a story like the Alamo. This is it. This is where all this happened. I think this would be the best money that the state could spend this year. We recreate what these guys died for. So it's pretty simple, really, and it's really an opportunity. I'm urging all of you, when you hear this message, if you are in the Senate, in the House, or if you know people who are, tell them we have to get this bill passed. And to those of you who are there, I know that you're going to hear a lot of bills because there have been thousands introduced. There has not been a bill introduced like this. So come and join us, help us. We need help, but shame on us. We've waited long enough.
But what we really need to do is create a place where people can learn. And I think learning in this instance has several levels. There's learning in the sense of history, what actually the Alamo was, its creation, and what occurred there. But it's also learning in terms of the bigger values that are embodied therein. The Alamo is a place where we need to learn about how human beings sacrifice for each other, as the heroes of the Alamo did. How we learn that there are things worth dying for. How we learn what it means to confront sort of imminent death and yet say, I'm buying time for Sam Houston to organize an army and win this independence. And I'm sacrificing myself for that purpose. To learn how then those values are transformed into the building of a society, the building of a city, the building of a state, the building of a nation, right? Fed by that sense of character and courage. Those are really important lessons, and they're not taught much anymore. They're not taught in the popular culture. They're not taught in games. They're not taught even in school much anymore. And yet, here's a physical place where transcendent things actually happen. Human beings willingly gave up their lives. Their souls passed to the next realm in that place so that others could have freedom. Others could have a nation. There's now a consensus developing on what's the right thing to do. We know what the investment levels are. Let's at least start the process and make the investment that we must. It's the least we can do to respect those who came before us, and it's the least we can do to leave an inheritance to the next generation. We must have the courage to act on our watch, in our time. Let's do the right thing and start the investment in the Alamo as the center of the Texas character that it is.
We strongly believe this will be a highly accretive investment that will have beneficial economic consequences for the city of San Antonio and the entire state of Texas. It'll increase the number of visitors, it'll increase how long they stay, it'll influence how much they spend. Let's look at some facts. Philadelphia's Liberty Bell gets 70% of all the tourists to that historic city. Boston's Freedom Trail gets 14% of the visitors to the home of the American Revolution. The Alamo only gets 4% of the visitors to San Antonio. Widening this economic opportunity, visitors to Philadelphia, visitors to Boston spend over $250 a day. Visitors to the Alamo spend only $100 a day. We believe that a rejuvenated Alamo can perform like the Statue of Liberty, it can perform like Paul Revere's house, it can perform like the USS Constitution, and when it does, when the percentage of people who visit go up, when the amount of money they spend goes up, the economic returns to this city and this state will meaningfully exceed their costs. Investing in the Alamo is fabulous for the future of Texas and a sound investment in the future of Texas's economy.